Apple has just announced new iPads and Apple TV, and it's got to be like one of the most underwhelming announcements in the past many years, actually. So let's just quickly jump into it. Let's get this news out. Basically, let's quickly talk about Apple TV 4K. Well, it's Apple TV 4K. Not particularly something amazing or whatever. It's got HDR support. It can do 4K, and yeah, I guess cool. Now it comes with I don't remember. Did it come before in two variants with and without Ethernet? I feel like all of them had Ethernet before, but apparently probably not. So Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5, by the way, still Bluetooth 5 is a 2016 technology. Just saying, like 5.1, 5.2 were in the market already for a long time. We're still using 6 years old technology, so that's interesting. Also, I was reading this and I was thinking, Thread networking support. What in the hell is Thread networking support? If you go to the little text and you realize that Thread is some sort of accessories for like HomeKit and Matter. Matter was this like initiative, apparently is still this initiative between Google, Apple, somebody else to basically create like accessories that could operate, the home accessories that could operate basically in with different devices, I'm assuming. This has got to be like the worst naming out of all Apple products probably ever existed. Matter and Thread. I have no idea about this. I literally like I'm following the news, Apple news, tech news in general. I heard of Matter. I had no idea what the fuck is Thread. And also, they're doing sweet fuck all because I hear nothing about Matter enabled Thread accessories, whatever garbage is this, whatever the fuck is this. So yeah, new Apple TV 4K, 128 gigs is the top line. Actually, it's weird that it doesn't get options. Maybe for 256 or whatever. I mean, I'm assuming they're like. I mean, I'm not assuming this is how they like. It's for streaming. I understand, but can't you save like things? You can install games on these things, right? Like 128 seems like like you can expand it. It would be pretty good if you could expand it. Also, no USB-C ports or anything, so you can't really like connect any external like hard drive or something like that. It's kind of weird. I don't know. Feels a little weird. In any case, whatever. Who cares really? Apple TV, it can display content from your TV. Cool. Better news or more interesting news is actually two new iPads, and let's start with the one that is the old iPad, that is iPad Pro. They literally changed nothing. They just slapped M2 chip inside of it and call it a day. Nothing has changed. And don't get me wrong, like new chip is good, but first of all, M2 is not such a big upgrade over M1. All the tests show that. And also, I hate to break it to Apple, but it's not like iPads are actually slow or in dire need of an actual speed bump. What they need is a good operating system, which iPadOS is not one. What they need is like actual software that can utilize all that power, which iPads do not have still in 2022, when they literally put the same chips from their desktop computers inside of them, and the garbage operating system, the garbage software that iPadOS is, ruins everything. Literally ruins everything. And the lack of applications. Like I don't understand the person who in 2022, after seeing over the years and years and years how Apple neglects iPadOS and what kind of garbage feature they add, like this stage garbage, whatever they call a stage manager, some shit like that, instead of just giving it a proper Windows support, like on a Mac. They're doing this garbage nonsense. I don't understand who in their right mind would buy iPad Pro right now. I just don't get it. I'll admit, I have an iPad Pro. You know which one? From like 2016 or 17 or something like that. It's the 10 point whatever, 10.5 I guess inch model iPad Pro. That's it. I don't really care about these iPads because they removed headphone jack from the iPad. That's a big fuck you in the face of consumers that I am not going to just forgive Apple, basically, because I can understand the logic behind removing 3.5 millimeter jack from the iPhone. Okay, it's a one port that does one job. It does one job very fucking well, let me just say that, and you can charge the phone at the same time. But it's a phone, very limited amount of space. I can understand that those 3-4 millimeters, whatever, they can matter in a phone. On the fucking giant iPads, no. It doesn't matter if you have a 3.5 mil jack, because iPads are not even water resistant or anything. So you're not like protecting the internals by removing one more port that could leak or whatever the fuck. So no, big fuck you to just consumers. So like, and this is the stupidest fucking announcement probably for the whole decade probably. Anyway, so well, okay, no, it's not actually the stupidest, because the stupidest announcement is the new iPad. Okay, the new iPad. First of all, let's take a look how iPad Air looks like and how iPad 10.9 looks like. I don't know if you're noticing anything. Are you noticing anything? I'm noticing that this is basically the same shit. The only thing that they did is actually move the camera into landscape orientation, which is first, I think, for iPads. It looks bizarre. It looks weird, but I understand the logic. Obviously, people use it like 90 degrees turn in a landscape orientation. I use my iPad in the landscape orientation probably 90% of the time, and the other 10 is probably playing like Clash Royale, which is a portrait orientation game. But once again, the stupidest shit. Once again, notice something, like spot the difference. Do you see this? Magnetic connector for Apple Pencil 2nd generation. Do you see something missing here? Yeah. The new iPad, the base model, only works with Apple Pencil 1st generation, which is Lightning. Do you see what's written here? USB-C connector. So Apple created a new tablet with A14 chip, by the way. I mean, it doesn't matter really. They're all powerful enough. Even my iPads is still plenty powerful. It's just the operating system is garbage, and is the limiting factor. But they've created new iPad with USB-C, and it only works with Apple Pencils 1st generation. I don't understand. Did they create so fucking many of these pencils that they're still laying around in some warehouse and they just need to get rid of them? Hence, this absolutely brain dead limitation. I don't get it. I mean, maybe the problem is because like now there's the camera there, and maybe it was sort of tough to put I guess maybe that's the reason. Maybe it was tough to put this magnetic connector and the camera sort of at the same spot. I don't know. I guess that could be the case, but at the same time, well then fuck this camera. Just put it wherever it was before, or move it somewhere else. Who the fuck cares, really? If you're moving it already to this top position, just move it, I don't know, off center. I don't know. This is the only like solution or reason I can think of, like why the. But then again, like, so what if they will move the camera of like a bigger iPad, for example? This one also has this like ultra wide stage feature or whatever, as the new iPad. I think it has one, right? I'm not crazy, right? It does have front camera, ultra wide camera, yeah. Center stage, yeah. With this feature that kind of moves you if you move in the frame. So once again, like if they will put this camera or move that camera from the side of the iPad Pro in like later generation, whatever, to the top of it, does it mean that they will have to like move the pencil charger position? Like put it like on the side or something? I don't get this. Like, is it such a big problem to connect like this thin piece of wiring or like magnets wherever, however it's charged? Yeah, I guess it's charged by magnets, whatever. I don't get it. But yeah. So the processor A14, it can do a lot of things. It kind of looks okay, right? Nice, normal design for Apple for the past whatever, how many years. Fingerprint sensor in the button. So although they moved the camera, so theoretically they could have put probably like Face ID because they have kind of more space here. I guess they would have more space, although the bezels they're pretty thick anyway. In any case, that's the base iPad, right? It costs $450, so it's not even the cheapest one, right? And it's just get this, it is still 64 gig model. 64 gig model in 2022 as a base config. So you definitely have to upgrade. Definitely, because 64 gigs is nothing, absolutely nothing in 2022. So it's already 600. So the iPad, which is without any names, without any suffixes, right? Which is supposed to be the entry level of iPad, $600. It's so annoying that the prices, especially of Apple products, are just rising, and people do not complain about, oh, it's Apple, so like who cares? Well, I remember time when Steve Jobs was still alive and he was presenting new iPhones that would cost like $600, and everybody was cheering, and he presented phones that were like started at like 500, I think. Now the iPad starts at like 600 base model, not an iPad Pro, not nothing that supports old pencil. How do you charge that pencil? Well, Apple has a solution for you. Which is USB-C to pencil adapter, which costs additional $9. Great, because one more adapter is exactly what I need. And they've created new Magic Keyboard Folio. Let's take a look at this thing. I'm astounded. I'm frankly astounded. You had this Magic Keyboard that would work with iPad Pro 12-inch, 11-inch, iPad Airs. It will not work with the new iPad. So if by some chance you had maybe iPad 4 or like iPad Pro 11, I mean you wouldn't buy like the new iPad. In any case, if somehow you had a keyboard before, well, it will not work. So we just established, right? This new iPad is already $600 and it's like Wi-Fi model only, right? And on top of that, you need to spend $250 to actually get a new keyboard. Also, I don't know about you guys, but it looks fucking disgusting. These little buttons, they look disgusting. I just realized that this is how Folio look like. I've used Folio just a couple times, basically in a store, trying it out. It was disgusting. To type on this smart keyboard Folio on 11-inch iPads is disgusting. Like, I couldn't do it. On 12-inch, yeah, because at that time it was basically normal size keyboard. But this little tiny fucking shit, I couldn't type on it. So you got this, but somehow like in the black, it kind of looked better, or like dark gray, whatever the fuck. It kind of looked okay, and it wasn't so noticeable that this. I only now realize that these buttons are actually smaller, and in white it looks disgusting. It looks absolutely disgusting. At least they put reversed T, the T that should be the up down buttons, left right. But it looks ugly. It looks ugly. I don't know what to say about that. It really looks ugly. So once again, $600 turns into $850. $850. We are at the territory of basically MacBook with M1 processor. On Amazon, you can get one on sale at basically like $900. We are at that territory. Yes, you can draw on it, but at the same time, like, really? So, in my opinion, right now, in 2022, all these iPads, especially iPads Pro, they don't matter anymore in terms of how much impact iPads had like years back, especially when they were new kind of. And now you can still use old iPad and it's working absolutely fine, perfectly fine. Yes, USB-C is good, convenient, but you know what's not convenient? Removal of 3.5mm headphone jack. That's not convenient at all. In any case, M2 chip in iPad Pro, once again, that's not what it needed. It needed proper operating system. iPad. Let's take a look at the lineup of iPads currently that Apple sells. Where was it? This is the garbage that Steve Jobs, when he returned to Apple after his exile, this is the garbage that he went back to. Myriads of products, 20 million different configurations, 20 fucking million different products. He cleaned the whole lineup, and now that he's been dead for like 11 years, Apple, run by Tim Cook, obviously, is back at this fucking stupid shenanigans. Explain to me the difference between iPad Air and iPad. I can't. I cannot explain the difference between iPad and iPad because they sell both of them. They sell one with Touch ID. They sell another one with also Touch ID, but it's in the button. This is incredible. Like, I understand the iPad mini. I understand iPad Pro. I do not understand these three at all. This is insane. Like iPad and iPad Air, I do not understand why do they have to exist. iPad 10th generation, which they just announced. Either drop iPad Air and call it quits, or drop this iPad that they just released. It's nonsense. You should have iPad mini because that's interesting design, interesting little companion sort of tablet, which, by the way, fucking supports New Pencil. That little fucker supports New Pencil. New iPad does not. This is just unbelievable. This is unbelievable. This is fucking Apple, the biggest company in the world, the best electronic company, the highest value electronic company. This is their product line. What the fuck is this garbage? I don't understand this product. iPad, I guess, 9th generation, just because they have probably laying a lot of around like parts for it, probably like Touch ID sensors and stuff like that. They just need to, and that kind of makes sense. That's the entry level model. It's $330. That sounds like an entry model, right? And it supports Apple Pencil 1st generation, which could be kind of a nice sort of tablet for like a person who just starts like drawing or something like that, right? Like, I could understand the appeal of that product, right? I could understand the appeal of iPad Pro, all this like super HDR and 120 hertz. I also really like on iPad. Once again, iPad mini, understand. iPad Air and iPad 10th generation, what the fuck is this? Why do they exist? I don't understand. In any case, so that's the announcement, right? Disgusting looking keyboard, but with an interesting twist, because it's actually like two separate parts. The lower part is the keyboard, at least as far as I understand. I don't really get, like, is this like the whole cover goes like, I guess it's the whole cover, right? Like, it magnetically attaches probably. Because I thought it's two separate parts. I thought like this lower part sort of connects to, maybe it is actually two parts. Is it two parts? I don't understand this. Yeah, two-piece design. Yeah, see the saying, it's two-piece design. So that's exactly how I feel like. So this like magnetically attaches to this like smart connector thing, right? And so it powers this. Although they don't, I don't think they have lighting, like the backside illumination. They don't. So it's not even. So you pay $250. This is insane. $250 for a keyboard. shitty looking, with shitty typing experience, without even illumination. They don't say anything about illumination here, do they? Not really. That's disgusting. That's just disgusting pricing. $250 for a keyboard that doesn't even illuminate. Fuck my life. What the fuck is this? Don't buy this. Like, whoever is thinking about buying an iPad, do not buy it. Buy yourself a MacBook Air. Was it? Yeah, it was MacBook Air with M1 chip. If you want like a portable computer, which is actually like good for school and shit like that. Way more storage you can at least upgrade to a larger storage. More storage. You have a keyboard, bigger display, better everything. You have even additional port, or even like new redesigned MacBook Air, also good thing instead of this shit. And if you want like to draw something, either buy a used model of something of this product lineup, or just buy the cheapest one if you want like just to draw, basically, to be a digital artist, creator, or whatever. Buy yourself like iPad 8th generation, maybe 7th, whatever, 9th generation, either used or a new one for $330, and you're gonna be absolutely fine. Last thing I wanted to talk about, something really interesting, which is actually way more interesting. Look at this. Apple actually announced it, and then apparently Apple actually first announced it before Blackmagic. Davinci Resolve is coming to iPads. Unfortunately, I'm assuming only to M-powered iPads. So that's the press release from Blackmagic Design. Davinci Resolve is coming to iPad. Just that. They displayed images here for 12.9 inches iPads. So I don't understand, because M1 chip is also in 11-inch iPad Pro. I don't understand. Does it mean that 11th inch iPad Pro will not get support? Because I don't know. They didn't say anything about it. I'm pretty sure, or am I crazy? I'm pretty sure that 11th inch also had M1 chip, M2 chip right now. Yeah, so they all support it. So I don't know about that. They said that, yeah, it's optimized for kind of viewing on 12.9 inch, but will it still work on 11 one? I'm not sure. However, once again, just that's what I'm saying. Like, don't buy iPad for anything besides painting on it, creating digital art, or like consuming content. Because even the basic version of something like GarageBand or Logic is way better on a regular iPad, because it doesn't do that fucking maddening optimizing performance shit. Basically, it like transcodes all your tracks into sound, into if you have like synthesizers and stuff like that, into audio files, and then it takes a lot of time and it takes space on your drive and whatnot. It's fucking garbage, which like never happens on a macOS version. So this is also not a good really DaVinci, because look at this. Do you see this two little things at the bottom? That's a fast cut tab and a color grading tab. That's not great, because I fucking hate fast cut tab. I like to zoom in, zoom out all the time and do this kind of shit, and I hate that. I hate that you can't really like adjust in the cut tab, basically scale. It's at whatever scale basically DaVinci decided for you, and there is no regular cutting tab as far as I can understand, right? So this is what I'm talking about. This is like, I can understand like you throw away media, okay, you throw away delivery, okay, you throw away fusion, okay, I guess. Maybe it's too complicated for an iPad, although once again it's using the same fucking processors, so that's, if they threw it away, it's because of limitation, probably some sort of limitation, because seemingly it looks like it's just like the same version basically that's on that's on the desktop computers. But yeah, so cut tab, I fucking hate it because once again, like you can't adjust the zoom. At least like, I don't understand how if you can. So I always do cut in here at like a regular edit page, and it does not. It appears that it's not there. So yeah, what's up with that? Blackmagic, I don't get it. At least something, I guess. Something is better than nothing, but yeah, I don't know. Not a fan. Not a fan, really. Where's the other one? Yeah, the other one is just the color grading tab, which is basically mostly the same. With like, you don't really have this like window or yeah. I mean, you have less space, so kind of it's understandable that some features will be slightly sort of compressed, I guess you can say. But yeah, because it doesn't have like normal edit tab, it's not a good product already. I mean, it's okay, it's powerful. I'm pretty sure like people will be able to use it and use it rather well, right? And it's a good start. I hope that they will bring regular edit page, not this fast cut bullshit. So it's an interesting development in any case. But if you want to do videos, if you want to do music, if you want to do anything really, just buy yourself a Mac computer and don't waste your time on the iPads. That's my like I said, I have iPad. It's old iPad. I'm okay with it. I wish it would have USB-C. I wish it didn't do this optimizing bullshit when I'm trying to make some music on it. But in the end of the day, any Mac, even from like 2015, which also had like all the ports and all this stuff that these new Macs, new redesigned MacBook Pros have, even that old computer is going to be slower, yes, but because it runs Mac OS, it is miles ahead of any iPad. So yeah, that was the stupidest redesign ever. That was the most mediocre update ever. Apple TV 4K, don't use it, don't care about it really. And Blackmagic is doing something. It's nice that they're doing something. They need to bring edit page. Yeah. Okay, guys. That was just this quick little, and this abomination has to shrink. It has to shrink. It's insane. In any case, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next one. Like, share, subscribe, follow, all this jazz. And if you can support this channel, there are buttons everywhere. Yeah. Okay. Take care, guys. Take care, and bye bye.